Welcome to Cathy Chat. Today, I hope you are ready for this. You know how much I love networking, and meeting people from all over the globe is one of my very favorite things about networking. And today, we are in the presence of the one and only Jodi Giroux. How are you, my friend?
Hello, Kathy. I am doing awesome. It's such an honor to be here. I've been excited for this all day and all week, and ever since you asked me to be on here. So I am grateful to be here.
That is so fun. I love, love, love that. And honestly, networking is one of my favorite things in the whole world. And I remember that you and I met the first time through Christian Women Entrepreneur Network with Rebecca Garcia. And being a part of CWIN has been amazing. And then one thing led to another, and now we see each other everywhere.
I know, isn't that fantastic? And I agree that the CWEN group is just amazing, and there's just so many opportunities to network within there and out of here like we are now, and it's just fantastic. And I'm just so grateful that she started that, and it was going nationwide and international. So it's really awesome.
Yes, it is. I think this is great. And again, I do absolutely totally love the networking piece. If there is anyone on the planet that doesn't know Jodi Giroux yet, how would you like them to meet you the first time? Tell us about you.
Oh my gosh. Oh boy. I am an animal lover. I am a wonderful cook. I am an entrepreneur. I am just, I'm down to earth, and I'm just, you know, I gotta say I'm pretty cool. So, I just
I think so too, by the way.
I'm just gonna put it out there. It's like I've got a lot to offer in a friendship, and also networking and stuff too. So I am just, yeah, I am me, and it's great. And I just love meeting other people. I love networking as well.
What part of the world do you live in, my friend?
I live in Wisconsin, so I don't personally border Canada, but it is one of those states that does border Canada. So that's where I live right now.
Wow. And you mentioned a little bit about being a great cook. What does that mean? Tell us about that part.
Yes, yes. So I'm basically transitioning out of being a personal chef. So and I've been cooking for over 20 years. I've had my business for about 10, and I'm just ready for another chapter in my life. And I can always take those skills with me no matter where I go. And I'll probably do more entertaining at home now once I'm able to transition out completely. So, yes.
That is awesome. You said you were cooking for over 20 years. Was that professionally as far as a business?
About 10 years as a business.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yes, yes, yes.
I'm always
So,
jealous of anybody that uses their K room for anything other than displaying their Kangen water device. That's about all I know how to do. Push a button on the machine, make the water, and be done. I don't do the rest of that stuff. But I'm in
right.
awe of people who do, because it sounds like you've made some incredible dishes from some
Yeah.
calls we've been on. Oh my gosh.
Yes, yes. And yeah, it's been a journey. And and that's one of the things I would love to do is actually go on an international culinary tour. I think that would
Oh
be
wow.
I think that would just be amazing, going into different countries and getting in with some of the amazing chefs in those countries and just experience, and also just like the day-to-day kitchen operations too, and as far as like even like the restaurants and stuff like that as well, is just experience all ends of what they have to offer in their country.
Oh, that sounds fascinating too. Now,
Yeah.
you mentioned a minute ago about transitioning. You're transitioning from chef to what?
Legal Shield. Yes, I am an independent associate with Legal Shield, and I just love it. And it's my whole thing all my life. I have been wanting to make people's lives easier for them, and I do that obviously by being a personal chef, but I have a much larger outreach by being an independent Legal Shield associate, and I can go like all over the United States and Canada as well. So a definite much farther outreach, or not farther reach. Sorry.
No, that's beautiful. And that you're exactly right, actually. Think about what happened pre-pandemic. Let's just go there. So pre-pandemic, we are doing chambers of commerce. We're doing ladies networking events. We're doing networking all over the cities that we live in and beyond sometimes. And then all of a sudden, the shutdown, lockdown thing came up to be. And I actually feel like our reaches have gotten bigger because of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We do business so differently now than we did 13 months ago. Isn't that something? It's
yes,
so different, so different. There hasn't been a life, a person or a business or anything that has not been affected by COVID in some way.
That's quite a statement.
It is. That's a global impact.
That is quite a statement. And you are so right. Somewhere, some place, every single person has been affected somehow. You are exactly correct.
Yeah.
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 A little bird actually told me, before we get into the ins and outs of Legal Shield, a little bird actually told me that you do will writing workshops. Tell us about that. What is that exactly?
Yes. So what I do is, and this is whether whether a person is a Legal Shield member or not. And I just go online and it's a Zoom presentation, and I discuss some information about wills and why we should get a will, and information like that. And then I also have an attorney presentation as well, and they actually go through. We have a will questionnaire. It's a workbook. And so that is given to the people ahead of time. So as he is going through the information, they can write notes on that workbook. And they can also print out another copy and put their information in there. And they can also take it over to their own attorney, or if they want to chat with me and find out more about Legal Shield and how that's included with our membership and have it done through there, we can have it done that way as well. So, but I just think it's so important. Every adult needs a will, and people say, "Oh, I can just write it on a piece of paper and it's good." No, it's not. It's not. You need to have it done in a legal manner for it to be effective after you're gone.
That is so true. Think about the enormity of that statement also. You mentioned a minute ago that there's not one person on the planet whose life has been touched in some way by COVID-19. So in that topic, there would probably be very, very few of us who have not at least known one person who has suffered loss, actual death because of COVID. And whether that's mom or grandma or whoever that would be, everyone on the planet has been affected. Thus, now comes the will conversation. If those things are not handled, you leave behind for the people who survive you quite a mess to clean up like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it can take years. It can take years for things to get settled. So it's having a will. I know people don't like to talk about it. It's one of those things that, and I always say that, like in my presentation, we always think that we'll be 90 and still dancing on the streets when we pass. But you take a look, I mean, COVID, cancer, all these other things, car accidents, people, all these other things that happen, nature, and we're not all going to make it to 90s dancing in our streets. Now, you and I might. No, just kidding. But
I'm definitely going to be. Yes.
Yes, I know you will be. But yeah, it's just, I mean, I've had conversations in the last few days, about people that are wanting to get their wills done. And And that's another thing too. If you just want the will questionnaire, contact me. That my information is going across the screen. I will send out this questionnaire. No problem.
That is a beautiful service that you provide. And I happen to know, my friend, just from your personality, that not everything about Legal Shield is yikes, doom, and gloom. It is actually peace of mind and a security blanket. Tell us about the coolest part of Legal Shield. And then I also happen to know that you're part of the ID Shield family as well.
Yes, absolutely. So the coolest thing about Legal Shield, there are so many. Basically, in general, what isn't covered in the membership, you have a 25% off. So you never have to pay full price for an attorney again. And it's not just an attorney. You have access to a top-rated law firm. So it's just awesome. So, and I'd be happy to chat with anybody, about that as well. And I was just chatting with another girl today. I'm just like, there are no expectations. Be happy to chat with people about it. And if they find value in it, great. I'd love to be your rep. If not, that's okay too. It's like, I've just met another friend. That's all that it means to me, and I love having friends across the globe, because I'm going to go on that culinary tour and I'm going to need to know people across that globe, right? So
yes, you are.
Yes, yeah. Yes. And so, yeah. And then with the ID Shield too, what's really cool about that is for identity theft, we're the only company that has private licensed investigators who will handle the case for you. Everybody else, they'll guide you, but we are the only ones that'll help you, and they'll do whatever it takes, as long as it takes, to return your identity to pre-theft condition. And if I may, and if I may mention something else, it's everybody, when do you think about using attorneys? When something happens. When do you think about identity? Except when something happens. And why do we have insurance? In case something happens. It's so much better if you just, people just take a look at the information and decide to be a member and have all the stuff in place before something happens. Again, just like insurances, you may not always use it, but when you have to, you are so darn glad that you have it.
Oh my goodness, that is such a huge statement also, because for me, it's the peace of mind part. That is just all the things that you don't have to worry about or think about when you have those pieces in place. That has to take a load off everyone's mind, I would imagine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And a girl that I just chatted with today, she was so excited. She was getting tears in her eyes because she's been through a rough time, and she's really stuck in a rock and a hard place, and just going through this information with her, she was just like, "You've got to be kidding." And I said, "No, this is all the stuff that's included. It's not just about the wills. There's audit, IRS audit services, and there's so much more. And just, you can call and ask advice, get attorney's advice, and not receive a bill." Say what?
Yeah, that doesn't, I was going to say, that doesn't happen in the normal world. No. A lot of times when you call an attorney for whatever the question is, it's tap, 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 and here goes the timer, and here comes your bill. And that really is how it works. You mentioned something, I hate to talk about the T word right now, but you mentioned the IRS audit and people's taxes. I have actually heard people say, I just went to file my tax return and the notice came up that I already had. And I just thought, what on earth does that mean? And that sounds like a Legal Shield issue to me.
That's a Legal Shield issue and an identity theft issue. So, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And one of our one of our associates, actually, she went through that 2 or 3 times, where somebody had filed the taxes in her name, and it was just crazy. One of my high school friends reached out to me 3 weeks ago, and there were somebody was trying to file unemployment under her information. And it was in that what I want is the verifying stage, and she's just like, no, no, no. She goes, I'm employed. She goes, this is not me. Her sister, the same thing the next day.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, yes. So we've got them signed up, and they've got their information in, and they are being monitored. And they called and spoke with one of the licensed private investigators, and she's like, I am on the phone with one of these amazing licensed, she goes, they're so nice. And it's like, you know, it's so awesome. And anytime that I've had to call them, they are nice. And it's just, it's awesome when you're stressed out and you're like, oh my gosh, there's only one of me, but all of a sudden people are doing these things under my name. You know,
it's seriously very disconcerting to think that people do that. I want to talk about the dark web for a second. Again, your personality and certainly mine, I would like to talk about something happy and joyful, but just you said people don't go to the doctor till they're sick, and they don't go to a chiropractor till they have a car crash and their neck hurts, and people probably don't call you until something catastrophic is going on. So what would you say to that? I mean, honestly, proactive versus reactive, what does that say to you? What do you think about that?
Yeah, proactive. If you think too, what's more costly, preventative treatment or treatment?
Yeah.
You know, so the preventative generally is less expensive. And it's the same that works for this. You know, I was just sharing with a girl today that, you know, for the monthly price for Legal Shield covers basically like 10 months of the service, covers 1 hour of one attorney.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So there's just, and you have a whole entire law firm. You know, so you know, a lot of people like, oh, they think attorneys, like, you know, you never want to call them. Not in this case. Not in this case. I was just thinking too, you know, it's just like, how many people have seen at least 100 attorneys get a standing ovation?
I don't know. Saying zero.
Right. I have. And it's just, it's amazing. That's what our law firms do, because they help so many millions of people across the country and saving them thousands of dollars across the US. And our associates are so proud of this relationship that we have with our law firms. And it's just fantastic. And you know, we have conventions, and little did I know that the attorneys came to these. And all of a sudden it's just like, I mean, I'm up in the nosebleed seats, right? You know, and I'm looking down at stage. There's nobody on stage, but they're playing the law music, like from one of those shows.
Yeah.
And people are hooting and hollering, and I'm just like, there's nobody on stage. Why are people hooting and hollering? And they're just like getting all excited and pounding. And I'm just like, there's nothing on stage. What's wrong with these people? Well, and I looked down on the floor, all the attorneys were getting lined up from the law firms to go on stage. And the associates were already like standing ovation, clapping and screaming and yelling. I'm just like, well, I have goosebumps, because I mean, that visual was just, it was something that I want to see more and more and more, because it was just fantastic.
Well, it's a very powerful statement right there. But think about it. If you are thinking about calling Jodi to find out more about Legal Shield, ID Shield, and your rights, and what it doesn't have to be scary to talk to an attorney. It doesn't have to be costly to talk to an attorney. This is your chance. And Jodi's information is running across the screen right now. Her number, and I'll read it real quickly, 715-308-3892. And it's Jodi, JODILS for Legal Shield, 2017@gmail.com. And that's how you can actually connect with this lady. Can you quote prices over the phone, or is it the same price for everyone, or how does that work?
Generally, the legal plan for most states is $24.95 a month.
$24.95.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yes. And the stuff you get is just amazing that's included. And then with ID Shield, it really depends on whether you're single or have a family, and if you want 1 bureau or 3 bureau protection. But that starts at $11.95 a
Oh
month.
my goodness. Okay, well, just like you said, 10 months down the road, you've basically paid for 1 hour of a typical legal consultation with an
Right.
actual attorney, not in the Legal Shield umbrella. I don't think
Right.
anybody can say no to this, my friend.
I know. I know. And there's so much. I mean, we didn't even get into everything that it includes. You will just be shocked at everything that it includes.
Well, we've
So,
got about 3 more hours if you want to keep going.
okay. All righty. I've got 3 hours of information.
Before everybody watching with us has a stroke, we're just
I know.
agitated about that. I do honestly appreciate you being with me today on Cathy Chat. And I love, love, love the fact that you take the fear and the oh my gosh, the actual nervous everything that comes with even thinking about calling an attorney. Is there anything that you'd like to share that we haven't talked about yet that you want every one of our listeners to know before we say goodbye?
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly, Cathy. Legal stuff, it does not have to be scary. It's like it's just like with anything else, medical, when you have medical insurance, you're going to go to the doctor and see what's going on. With this, treat it like that. It's like call the attorneys, utilize the services. Get your will done with annual updates, no extra charge. And there's so much more. Call, ask questions, and I mean, IRS audit. There's so much more. I could get into it, but it wouldn't give me anything to chat about when people call me. So,
We definitely don't want you to be speechless, my friend.
right, exactly.
We would never want Jodi to be speechless, that's for sure. I love that so much. I do honestly. I so appreciate you being with us today on Cathy Chat. And hopefully for all of our listeners, you connect with Jodi, you reach out and find out what Legal Shield can do for you, what ID Shield can do for you, and the peace of mind that comes with having an account. And again, the 24.95, the 11.95, it's not in the hundreds and thousands, and it's preventative legal services, which is the coolest thing in the whole world. I really do thank you for being with us today, my friend.
Oh, thank you so much. The honor is all mine.
Awesome. And thank you for everyone joining us on Cathy Chat. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.